Maplestory, the game that holds the #1 spot and the most nostalgic game for me because of all the memories I've gotten from it. Maplestory was in fact the first multiplayer game I've ever played, and it might be even the first game I've played if it hadn't been the Flash games I found at like some math website at school. But yeah, I made this video just to remember all those good times and to just, talk for a long time since I really don't have any games to play right now, or at least any exciting, fun games to enjoy right now. I'm not that good of a talker, so if sometimes there's just a lot of jumbled up words, I'm sorry, but practice makes perfect, I've heard already. So it all started when I was just an 11-year-old kid, I think 11 or 10 to 12-year-old kid in middle school. I didn't really have any friends, and all I got was just the school life. I would just go to the library once in a while to use computers though, because I didn't really have a computer at home. It's either the library computers or the school computers. So I was like the textbook loner. Like I didn't have a single friend at all. I was extremely shy to the point where I was incapable of even saying hi to my classmates if I see them, outside of class. So when I started middle school, we had to choose tables, the average seat choosing. Definitely the most exciting part of the first day of school. I chose to sat in the table of 4 boys, because I was thinking they were all Chinese, so there's no way it could go wrong. And it went pretty well. We would have group projects together, and because of that, we have to exchange contact info to do the projects at home together. Like not exactly together, but like over either a call or sort of message online. This was in fact my first time ever making social or communication usage. So when I got home, I popped open that one app called AIM, which my friends they told me it was a good way to, communicate. I had no idea what messaging even was back then. So yeah, it blew my mind when I opened up AIM, because I had no idea this technology even exists. Like, the fact that it had mini games, that was hella crazy for me. We were playing, even though we're not supposed to be gaming, we were still, playing those AIM mini games. I think there was Connect 4, Amok, there was a few other mini games. Probably Minesweeper with friends, and probably Tic-Tac-Toe and Pac-Man stuff. Yeah, but those were really fun. But yeah, after we finished the project, one guy would ask if we would want to play this one game called Maplestory together. I had no clue what Maple even was at the time, but they all said it was an awesome game because for some reason they just all knew what Maplestory was. I'm just the only one that did it. But yeah, at the time, my family didn't exactly have internet, so it was like really hard to even get the game to be downloaded. We did have a backup way to access internet, and it was the dial-up internet, which requires us to use our home phone line to connect us to the internet. Like, we literally had to unplug the phone cable and stab it into the computer for it to work. And this connection was like incredibly ass, super slow, and I remember exactly how it would sound whenever you started the connection. It was like a bunch of do sounds well, not that fast, but like it takes so long. Now keep in mind, Maplestory was 3 whole ass gigabytes. Well, at least back then it was like 3 whole ass gigabytes. And I still remember this sheer amount of size. It blows my mind how a game could be 3 gigabytes, even though now it's like even Star Rail, which I play, has 30 gigabytes. But yeah, 3 gigabytes. My internet speed was literally 5 kilobytes. And if you don't know what the ratio is, it was every 1 million kilobytes do you have 1 gigabyte. So that download took 2 days to even finish. And not only 2 days, after that, it took another day to even finish installing the game after downloads. So yeah, after I finished installing, me and my friends were to celebrate as soon as, it hit, finish, it says. We would celebrate as if I finished the whole marathon, and I would make the new character, and I was told to make Ice and Lightning Mage, because they said it was the best, which is kind of true now that I think back, because Ice and Lightning back then did have the most AoE because of the chain lightning stuff. And I wasn't exactly progressing in the game within the first few hours in. The first thing I did was roam around town, basically had a seat right here, and I would beg for drop mesos, and first thing I would notice is the drop games, which of course I would have to participate in. Like, who doesn't participate in that? My friends would eventually like tell me to stop doing that stuff because it's a waste of time, and they would eventually kind of bait me into going to Orbis to farm and level up. They would tell me that you get a lot of mesos there instead of playing the drop game, and I would believe them. Go there and just farm for days on straight. But yeah, I really only get to play Maple once every few days when I sneak on to the family's laptop, because we only use it to do homework and stuff, so they don't really know that sometimes I use it to play Maple. Or I would go to my friend's house to play it too. But yeah, most of the time I don't even get to play it. Only when I'm at a friend's house. So the levelings would go by really slow. It would take like more than even a whole month to even reach level 30 on my mage, only to quit it because Aaron's just came out and they look super cool. It's I still remember that one day when it came out, they had the female Aaron. It's really attractive, really hot. Kind of had like a NPC crush back then on the female Aaron, so I had to make it, and that is the character I'm showing on screen right now. For some reason I named it Neon Ninja 8 because back then my favorite color was green and Neon was green, and I like ninjas, and my favorite number is 8, so combine them all together and it works out. So yeah, the only one thing I didn't like about Aaron's back then was the part where you swing twice and it looks like you're throwing your ass at monsters. I really don't understand how that even does damage when you're throwing your ass. Why not just swing your polearm at them? But yeah, I basically, I was grinding at Sleepywood for months on, fighting those damn zombie mushrooms. And then I would also farm the secret golem map, which was also at Sleepywoods back then. I remember I'd always grind there because you also get a few maple item drops from the golems. At least that's what I saw my friends get. I saw him drop like some sort of Maple shield or maple gloves, and those are cool as hell. It was but it was really a big pain in the ass leveling back then because I didn't really have mesos or even potions, so we would literally have to pull out a chair just to heal back the HP or MP, because I remember I would run out of MP too. And even though it was a long grind, it was good times with my friends. The probably the best times would be every time I get a new weapon to use, because you know you would think I would probably learn how to play by now, but no, I actually still have no clue on how to play Maplestory other than spamming skills on monsters. So basically, my friends would literally do everything for me when it comes to equipment. They would find me new weapons, and I clearly remember this one weapon called the Ganyu polearm. And the reason why I liked it so much was because, you know, I know the history of the Ganyu, which was the... I don't even know how to say it. She was like the ancient warrior that beat Lu Bu and the other people. I mean, they formed like a brotherly team just to overpower Lu Bu. But I'm pretty sure Lu Bu still beat his ass up. But yeah, Ganyu polearm. Yeah, I was talking about that. It was cool as hell because it had like gold edges. And I think it was like level 48 to use. And then after using it for such a long time, my friend tells me that this other polearm that is even better than the Ganyu polearm. And it was called the Gold Dragon polearm. They said it was OP as hell, at least that's from what they said. And I always listen to them. They said it was from the snakes in the Malaysia area. I think you had to, I still remember how to get there, I think. You had to take the airplane in Kerning City, and then after you take the airplane in Kerning City, you gotta talk to some traveler agency person, and then they take you to the Malaysia area where it had the snakes. But yeah, I mean, it took me over a whole week just to get that one weapon. It was super rare, and when the item dropped, it hit me hard. I was like, holy, it blew my mind. I was so happy. I jumped, and I even went out, brought you know, some McNuggets to celebrate after getting that weapon. I think there was like the 50-piece McNuggets too, so really yummy. Also, I would get like a bunch of the ranch sauce to eat it with. Good times. But yeah, whenever you see item drops in Maplestory from a monster, you would see the glimmer of the color, and you know you've done it when you see the glimmer of the color. And freaking Gold Dragon, holy cow, was it magnificent! It's like golden edges. It was a big ass polearm. It was definitely bigger than the Ganyu polearm. It was a humongous blade with gold edges. And these are, you know, these are just times that you'll never forget, even though it's just a in-game weapon that probably no one else gives a shit about. But I'll never forget these times. It's probably the most satisfying moments I've ever had in gaming, in fact. But yeah, after many months of grinding, I'd say this character became my first character to, you know, reach level 70. It was the biggest achievement I've felt throughout playing Maplestory or even gaming itself. I've never felt happier. It was probably because of you know, I was spamming the double swing where it just looks stupid. Like I said, you throw your ass at the monsters and it's just stupid. But yeah, after you reach level 70, you get the snow infusion and you get rid of the ass throwing. You with the snow infusion, you're able to stab twice instead of doing that stupid swing. And then I finally got my mount, because I think at level 70 you also get to start riding mounts, or at least you get the quest to start riding mounts. It was a small fee of 10. It wasn't exactly small, but 10 mil was pretty hard to get. I had to sell a bunch of random items I found. I don't know how I got them, but I just sold them for, and then I just got the 10 mil, got the Wolfie for the Aaron. So it was really cute. I think there was different colors, but I got the cheapest one because 10 mil was really hard enough for me to get, so just got the basic one. And for weeks on, I would just run through towns just to flex the Wolfie. A lot of people would be in Hennessy, and that's where I would be. I would be jumping around with my wolf in Hennessy. But yeah, after a year has passed, you know, also in real life, a year of school has passed. All my friends and me decide to do the Ultimate Adventure. I think that's when it came out, or at least when I saw someone that do it, and I was like asking my friends, how do people get this thing called Ultimate Adventure? Which, so apparently it is whenever you make a Cygnus Knight and you max it out, you get to make a successor with an adventure class called the Ultimate Adventure. And the benefit to doing this is that you get to keep a skill from the Cygnus Knights. I don't think you get to pick. They give you they basically just give you their signature skill, which was like if you were the pirate class for Cygnus Knights, you would get the shark skill. If you were the wizard, you would get flame gear, which was kind of useless at the time. And then if you were the thief, you would get the bats, the vampire bats, which was pretty nice because it heals you, but it didn't do much damage. What else? Paladins would get, warriors would get the Soul Driver, which was huge. And that's why I decided to make the Dark Knight, basically, because I wanted Soul Driver. But, you know, times have changed. I didn't really finish that adventure. But yeah, I never finished my Cygnus Knight because I just didn't have time to play. I still don't have a computer yet. So the only time I play it was when I was at my friend's house, but even then, you know, there's no way you could get enough that EXP to max out a Cygnus back then. All my friends finished the Cygnus Knights. They all maxed out, so I decided to, you know, forget about it. I'll skip Ultimate Adventure. I'll just make an adventure straight up just to be with my friends, because they already started their adventures. So I just opened up your Spearman to catch up. In my friend group, we basically got a paladin, a bowmaster, a knight lord, because I had this one friend that only plays assassins. Even though everyone wants to play assassin, I'm pretty sure. But you know, since he's got it, I'll just play something else. I played Spearman, which was gonna be the soon-to-be Dark Knight. At least, well, I never really thought I would reach Dark Knight. But I did. So yeah. Soon these became our new mains, and I was struggling to level up my Spearman because Spearmen didn't exactly clear well. They had a, you know, a stammy thing, and it's close range, and they walk really slow because back then warriors didn't really have a dash. All we had was a nimble body, that one level 10 walking skill. But you know, fast forward to level 70, I would get Dragon Knight. I think, yeah, Dragon Knight, because level 30 was Spearman. And Spearman, all they had was Stabby Stab. Or Slash Blast or something like that. Yeah, I still remember using Slash Blast for such a long time until I got level 70. And then when I got my Dragon Knight class, it was, you know, it wasn't as fun as I thought it was, because although it did look cool having dragon skills, getting Dragon Roar, and I think Dragon Smash, and also Dragon Thrust, I started getting more and more lazy because, you know, Dragon Slam wasn't really all that satisfying. It did hit like around 6 enemies, which was a lot back then, but it's close range, so it didn't exactly make it effective. Whenever you're fighting I think it was Jesters. I think everyone was grinding at Jesters. Every single time they had like a fever event, everyone would be taking the channels at Jesters or whatever else, Scarecrows or Jesters. I still remember I always go there just to level up. But yeah, after that, we would, I mean, I just feel like it was a really stale moment after reaching Dragon Knight. All my friends didn't really, we were all lazy. We would, you know, sneakily spend some money on NX because, you know, since all my friends, they were buying NX, I kind of got peer pressured into using money on video games, and Maplestory was definitely the first game I used money on. And not just a tiny bit. I would use, you know, hundreds in a matter of weeks. And days on, we would go to our friend's house to hang out, and we would do the gachapon gambling, you know. Maplestory was the pioneer to gachapon. That's why the term gacha exists. Because of gachapon. Which means random machine in Japanese, I think, or something. I mean, that's what the machines are called. They're called gachapons. And then we were never getting anything good from the gachapons. I think the best thing I've ever got was a white scroll, which I sold for probably like 100 mil or something, which was a lot back then. And we would also get some crap chairs and some like seal chairs and seal weapons, which was pretty cool back then. But in the end, I ended up losing them somehow. I think I got hacked or something, or I was playing drop games and I would lose all of them. But I'm pretty sure I did get hacked at least once, and I lost every single chair. Because now that I've been on, I kind of noticed that I don't have a single chair left, and I have a feeling they were stolen. Or even my friends just took all of them that logged onto my account, but which I doubt. Because the chairs weren't even that cool, to be honest. But yeah, let me take a sip of water. But yeah, Christmas would come by and it'd be awesome for Maplers. I myself was in a hard part of life where, you know, I almost gave up, but I would go on Maple just to do the events with friends. We would, you know, talk around, laugh it off. So whenever I do listen to the Maplestory White Christmas theme, it will always hit me deep because it would remind me of these old times that we get through. We collect all the items for, you know, the events, which was mainly just decorating a Christmas tree, and of course, me and my friends all decide to decorate our tree with a good old penis and ball sack with the random letters we had and other stuff. And obviously we would never win because I don't think they would ever want to have a penis and ball sack to win the event. And soon enough there's this thing called familiars, and it was basically, it allowed us to collect monsters to summon, and they would actually do damage for us. But there's these weird claims of a familiar bug where they would one-shot all the monsters on the map for us. And okay, I'll be real with you, I'm pretty sure it wasn't a bug, it was a hack. And everyone called it a bug because almost everyone used it. So we kind of all silently agreed to calling it a bug. And with this, I kind of knew to abuse it myself because, you know, I'm lazy, so I had to use it. Well, my friend, you know, somehow had that bug on his familiar, so I would just leech off him. And of course, the best place to do this was at a Lionheart Castle. And that's where everyone was at the time. Everyone lived at Lionheart Castle because every monster there was super tanky. They were all like mini bosses, but because our familiars one-shot them, it became light work. Everyone would be just climbing onto the ropes and just dangling familiar on the bottom, one-shotting everything on the map. Like I felt like I definitely wouldn't have reached the 4th job if it wasn't for this bug. This bug lasted for like a couple of weeks on, maybe even a full month. And it allowed me to reach levels that I never thought I could with multiple characters. Like I reached the 4th job with I reached Dark Knight, so I was able to use Dark and Pale. And then yeah, I also reached the 4th job with a few other characters, my Evan and some other new characters that came out after Aaron's did. I think it was Mercedes and a few others, and Demon Slayer. But yeah, still I was bored, but after a few months have passed, these familiars soon were patched up. They couldn't one-shot mobs anymore, but even later then, they straight up took away familiars. Straight up, I mean, not really took away familiars, but like they didn't allow you to summon them anymore. I think they're still familiars, but it's like just stat collection. So yeah, and time goes by slowly, month after month, and 3 years of middle school has gone by. All my friends were going to different schools. We would still go on Maple once in a while, but we definitely knew the Maple days were coming to a close because at no point of time were we able to set up raids or anything. In fact, well, actually I don't think we ever really did, other than Zachem and Horntail. I don't think we even did Pink Bean, maybe once. But yeah. So soon enough, we would just not play Maplestory much together. We would still hang out and play some sports. We did play, well, at least at the place where I live in, handball was really popular. I got pretty good at handball to the point where my hand starts bleeding if I hit it too much, but I was pretty good at it, so I loved playing it outside. And every time we did finish playing sports, we would go over to our friend's house to chill. We'd buy a few iced teas and, you know, pop them open. Chill, open the computer at the friend's house and open Maple. And then we would, you know, open up and check out the new characters that come out every single time they do release one. And I remember there was Phantom that I did make, and we would play once in a while to level up some characters, but you know, it wasn't, we were never do any group thing because we just never felt like we had the time to. And then soon enough we would we start this new other game called L Sword, which was also from Nexon at the time. It was similar to Dungeon Fighter, which all my friends haven't played. I did play because at the time, some other time I'll talk about it. But yeah, we would play L Sword, and that kind of replaced Maplestory. It was another anime styled MMO, but it was a tiny bit newer, and to be honest, that game kind of sucked. But you know, at the time we played it. It was fun. But yeah, I think that's really just all I can remember at the top of my head right now. Oh, maybe I could go. Let me just go to World Selection and show the characters that I've made as a recollection. So the server I played was Windia, and apparently it became part of Aurora. Yeah. Alright, let me just order them from which characters. I'll tell you guys which character I started with. I started with Ice and Lightning, which I did delete apparently because I didn't have any more character slots. Like back then, we definitely had like a limit to how many characters we could make, so I deleted the old characters I wouldn't play, and I think my second character was this one. Oh my god, it's you. I don't know why I named it like that. Okay, to be fair, I was 11 years old at the time, so you know you can't judge my naming skills. I was like still a kid, and this was the Nightwalker. Yeah, damn, I forgot it was even called Nightwalker. But yeah, this is the assassin class for Cygnus. I was supposed to get this to level 120 because 120 was the max for Cygnus Knights, and that's what you needed for Ultimate Adventure, which I then later on went to this character. Oh wait, no, Aaron's was the second character after Ice and Lightning, and then third was this knight for the adventurer here, and then this is the fourth character, which became my main, Dark Knight. Yeah, I reached 120 really fast because of the familiar bug, and I have cash items on him. This is where all the NX went into. The permanent cash items made him all into yellow because, you know, Super Saiyan. I watched Dragon Ball Z a lot back then. But yeah. Also got like a permanent pet. They were all permanent. I remember there was this one event where like everything was permanent in the cash shop, so we went balls deep when it comes to buying NX. And I got like a full yellow set. Pretty cute. Got the Ducky t-shirt and rainbow boots. And after that, I think I moved on. Played a bit of Mercedes. I have the Mercedes set, and then I played a bit of Evan because of Earthquake was probably my favorite skill. Still is actually, but and then Phantom, some other characters. I did remember I was playing. My friend played on my account a few times too, and then he made a few accounts, and then this is probably my strongest character. A Hayato. I named the dynasty Yasuo because, you know, played some League, and then Yasuo, he also had like, he's also a samurai. You know, dynasty Yasuo. I forget how that means. But yeah, I did like Hayato a lot. He had some of the coolest hyper skills. At least one of the hyper skills that's spammable. I feel like out of all the characters, probably Hayato has the most spammable one. Or at least fifth job skill, I forgot. And these are just all these other random stuff. But yeah, that's just it. Sorry for, you know, rambling on so long about life stories instead of Maple itself. I think there's some other things that I should have talked about, but kind of forgot. So, yeah, I think that's just it. Thanks for listening to my nostalgic Maple Story times. Alright, goodbye.